Well, if there were a World Series for mediocre teams, last night's game was it. The Blue Jays lost 8-3 to the LA Angels. They go to 16-19 on the year. Props to the Angels for coming through at the end, but that was a dull, boring game with not a lot to talk about. We had Jose Urena on the mound for us after we just picked him up. He did, about as good as you could have asked. He got us 4 1/3, gave up 2 runs, threw 74 pitches for us. Basically, great job by him, just all things considered. The fact that he hadn't pitched in, I think they said it was 8 days. The fact that he had just gotten signed, just getting moved up to a new team, straight to the major leagues, all that stuff. 4 1/3 doesn't sound fantastic, but like I say, just given the circumstances, I had no issues with his performance in this one. Now, it is bad because we haven't been able to get innings from our starting pitching, so you're seeing that carry over to the bullpen, and you would have liked Urena to be able to give us, 5 or 6 innings, but that's not really on him. It's not his fault that the bullpen's in the shape it is, and that since Max Scherzer went down and since Bowden Francis has regressed, the innings just haven't been there. I don't know what to say about this team right now. I know that it only takes a few days to really change things, as we've seen. We were feeling pretty good, then we were feeling pretty bad. We got back up to 500. We're thinking vibes are high. We drop a few. We're now 3 games below 500 again. Vibes are back to being low. I know that can switch back again if we just rattle off. I have no reason to doubt that we can win these last 2 games against the Angels. They're not a good team. And if we close out the next 2, you start to feel a little bit better, especially depending on how things go. If you get a rock-solid performance from your starters, if you get to rest the bullpen a bit, if you pull off a couple Ws, all right, you can start building something again. But it has not looked good. Anderson is one of only 2 half-decent pitchers for the Angels, so it was unfortunate that we drew into him, but he was still hittable. We still got to the bullpen. They have a terrible bullpen. You look at their ERAs, 27, 12, all these high numbers. And the real kicker for this one is we had the win in hand. It wasn't going to be pretty, but you fast forward to the 8th inning, and there was just a crucial play there where we're up 3-2, and Nito is walked. He steals second base. Shanuel puts down a sac bunt, and Alejandro Kirk makes a fantastic play, jumping out from behind the dish, grabbing the ball, firing it to third base to get the lead runner there. It was an honestly just unreal play by Kirk to do it as quickly as he did and to make the right play like that. And Ernie Clement, sure-handed Ernie Clement, Gold Glove finalist Ernie Clement, who he's one of the top players in all of baseball for outs above average and all that stuff, just misses the ball, just misses it. You had the lead runner out there. You could have preserved the lead. We throw it into the outfield. The run scores, ties it up. The inning falls apart. You end up burning Jimmy Garcia. You end up burning Jeff Hoffman trying to save it 3-3. Ohapi singles, Shonoel scores, Ward moves up, Moncada then homers, making it 7-3 off Jeff Hoffman. Rengifo grounds out, then Joe Adell takes Hoffman deep, making it 8-3. We end up burning Eric Lauer there. Just the 8th inning really just torpedoed the whole game. Not only did we lose the game, but we burnt all of our bullpen arms again. And it's just becoming... It's becoming a problem. It's already a problem, but it's becoming a huge problem. And I know the instinct there is to blame John Schneider for this, and I hate sounding like a John Schneider apologist. I just don't know what else he's supposed to do with the cards he's being dealt here. It's... in other games we've said, well, why didn't you go to Hoffman? Why did you go to Little in the 9th? You should have gone to Hoffman there. So he goes to Hoffman with the tie game to try and preserve it, to try and give his team a chance to get around in the 9th and pull through. You use Jimmy, you use Hoffman there. You expect to get the job done. Those are your 2 guys. He doesn't have anyone else to go to, and because the starting pitching isn't getting it done, they're not going 6, 7, 8 innings at all. They don't need to do that every game, but they're not doing it at all. And the offense isn't breaking games open. It's a 3-2 game. Santander finally hits a home run. Bo Bichette has fallen off of the face of the earth. Vladdy didn't get enough done. There's just no games where we're stretching it out to a 7-2 and taking some of that pressure off. It's just not happening. There's not a single game that's happening. So, yeah, your bullpen is going to be taxed if you're not blowing anybody out and if your starters aren't going, 7, 8 innings from time to time, especially your big boys, especially your Chris Bassett, Gosman, Barrios. They're running their pitch counts up. They're getting pulled after 5 1/3, after 6 innings, and they're pitching well. But again, it's just when every game is tight, you're going to be burning your bullpen. So Brendan Little, Jimmy Garcia, Jeff Hoffman, even Fluharty's getting into that situation now. Chad Green's getting used all the time. Like, they're all getting used all the time. Do you feel great about Dylan Tate? He came into this one as well, I don't know what they're going to do, to be honest with you. It's a mess right now. It's a problem. It's a problem. We burnt through, let's see this, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 pitchers to lose 8-3 to the Angels. It's just not good enough. And like I say, it falls on everybody. It's the bullpen arms are getting tired. They're not performing. They're not executing the last couple days. The starting pitching are getting way too comfortable just pitching 5 innings. The offense is doing nothing. Now, a big talking point coming into this year was what is going to make our offense better from last year. 2024, we know the offense was a problem. What was the realistic expectation for it getting better this year? Anthony Santander, you went out and got one of the top home run hitters in all of the American League, 44 home run guy, and a healthy Bo Bichette returning. He's in, what's he in now, year 6, I think, year 7. You're expecting him to go back to career averages. Not to be Aaron Judge, not to be anything like that, but give me a high 700, 800 OPS, hit a few home runs, steal a few bases, and we're not getting that. Bo Bichette is now OPSing 680. Anthony Santander is like a 600 OPS. I know all the talk about being the slow starter, and he did hit a home run last night, which is great. If he can run into a few more of those more regularly, or even just hit some doubles or something like that, like do something, it would be great. And there is a path to the offense being good enough, but you need several guys to take steps. You need Bo Bichette to take that leap back up to an all-star player. You need Anthony Santander to be himself, to be whether that's, a 35 home run guy hitting 250 or something like that. Kirky's doing great. He threw a runner out at second earlier in the game as well. He made that great throw to third that was missed. He's looked great behind the dish. He's hitting finally. He's really picking it up with the bat. Dalton Varsho hasn't looked awesome at the plate since his first couple home runs, but you know what? He's still overall done pretty good, and he's looked great in the field. But you need, nobody wants to run with the left field job. Alan Roden's been handed it. Barger's had a chance to get in there. Ernie Clement could solidify himself, but he hasn't. Miles Straw is falling off, which we expected. He is more of a bench piece, a defensive replacement or whatever, so we knew what to expect out of Miles Straw, but the other ones are just, they're being given all the opportunity in the world to run with starting jobs, and they're just not doing it. Andres Jimenez is looking better out of the 9 spot. He's still, he should never be a cleanup hitter, but he's at least doing better now that he's been moved down to the 9 spot, where we feel like he might actually hit over 200 and steal some bases and do some creative things at the bottom of the order. So I'm feeling better now that he's been down there. He's looked a lot better this past week or so. But you need probably 3 guys to step up at this point. It's got to be Bo Bichette, it's got to be Santander, and you need somebody to run with either third base or left field, whether that's Barger, whether that's Orelvis Martinez in a month or two, whether that's Will Wagner coming back up. Somebody has to want one of these jobs and do something about it. And right now we're not getting it. And then on the pitching side of things, again, Urania, great job by him, 4 1/3. You know what? That's all we could have really asked for given the circumstances. Maybe he'll take that job and run with it. Maybe he wants the 5 spot. Turnbull, when he comes up, maybe he runs with it. But there's, Mason Fluharty in the bullpen is getting an opportunity and is lights out. He is taking the opportunity. He wants to be a major league pitcher. We're not seeing that from enough guys. We're not seeing that from essentially anybody else. Everyone else is being given reps, and it's just, oh yeah, well, he's young. Oh, he's a rookie. What can you expect? He's this, he's that. And none of them are just grabbing it and going with it, and it's really, really frustrating to watch. Anyways, like I said, there wasn't a lot to recap in this one. That's why I skipped straight to the 8th inning. But what I will say is Springer hit a home run. Santander hit a home run. That was good. Urania's pitching performance was pretty solid. Fluharty was good. Green was good. And then obviously it fell apart at the back end there with Jimmy and Hoffman, who are tired. So that's where I'll leave the recap. Let me know what you guys think. Did you watch the game? I'm sure you guys all loved it just as much as I did. Let's hope they rebound, win a couple games to finish this series strong, and see if we can't build some momentum. Anyways, we'll talk to you guys later. All right. Have a good one.